Question for Coach. Coach, after looking at Stanford film again with Bryce Love's performance.
It basically boiled down to 5 plays. Anything you say will be an excuse, and I'm not going to do that. We had guys in position to make plays, and we had guys. We missed a fit early on. We sort of had a situation with Daz that came up that sort of threw us on our heels a little bit. We thought everything was going to be fine. He practiced, and it just became wise and smart not to take the chance to play him. He had a little nerve issue, and that sort of set us on our heels. We lost the fit. We corrected the first one. Even the first one, the thing that was disappointing was our angles. Instead of a long touchdown run, what we call fatals, 3 times we had guys make the play, 20-yard game. Just make the tackle. And unfortunately, that's part coaching too, so that's my fault. And I thought we played hard. I thought, one of the biggest plays of the game that was disappointing me is the 3rd and 10 before halftime after we had turned the ball over. I don't remember the situation, but we had a drop coverage, and it was made for it, and our guy didn't play the coverage. And it was crucial. It was a mental mistake that cost us 3 points. It could have been the factor in getting the game into overtime. And then, of course, the last drive, we got them in first and 10, and we miss a tackle in the backfield, and he breaks it for 30. So and unbeing to stop him, but so there were some issues going in, and I'm sure you're aware. I guess we had some other issue at the second corners with Joey, so there was a little drama last week trying to tie everything together.
Yeah. What about just your physicality at the point of attack, or just how the players?
Well, the D-line linebackers were physical. It was not if you watch the tape, they were in what we call double jumbo. And it's the same thing. They make your secondary tackle. They create gaps, and like I said, it doesn't do any good to go into names. But we had some guys in the hole. Really, no game plays that we just couldn't make the play. And I say that again. There's things creative that we tried to do to try to keep that from happening. And so it was a little bit frustrating that we didn't get it done.
Can you talk about the play of A.J. Lawson, maybe one of the biggest surprises on defense right now?
Who's that?
A.J. Lawson, the flexibility he gives you.
He's played well. He's been productive. Played very well. The 2 guys that stuck out in my mind were A.J. and Jamarcus Rhodes. Jamarcus Rhodes played out of sight. And we felt like him, and I know as a team, going into the game, Todd was very pronounced in saying you have to beat these guys as a team. You've got to score on them. You've got to make them where they can't get in their numbers and rhythm, and try to keep the ball and grind it out. And we never felt at all that we were out of the game. Even with giving up the run, we never felt that because we knew we could get it corrected. And offensively, we felt we could score on them. And it was after we scored, I think the second half, the score was 10-7. We had a couple of plays. The one play we gave up in the second half was just devastating. Just devastating. We had no margin for error. We had guys there. We had just guys that could, and they can make those plays. They made them earlier, and that's one of the things they do well. And is Stanford? You sort of know what you're going to get now. Hey, you know what? They tell you, hey, stop it.
When you lose a guy like Karan Crump, does it take a while to figure out what's the best thing to do with your personnel after that, especially when you're playing different types of opponents?
Well, I'm not sure. You know, Quran played well versus San Diego State, which was a physical team. Yeah, I'm a believer of this. Todd and I both talked about this. You get your best players on the field. And if you don't watch it, if you remember in that game, I mean, they would go from spread and 12 personnel to double tight. So if you're trying to play a game with them, and one of the things he mentioned, he said, you know, in 13 I made a mistake. I tried to specialize with all my substitutions, and he said that they hurt me with it. So we were trying to get our best players on the field, and you know, like I say this, I mean, it was disappointing that we gave up the plays and you know, just cut them in half, and that's a 24-20 game, and make them do some things that we didn't think they were good at. You know, when they threw the ball, you know, we felt like we were very capable of covering them and matching them and those things.
Coach Graham has talked about how you guys need to create more takeaways as a defense. How do you do that? Is it something where you need to be more aggressive when you're
Well, you practice it in practice, strips, clubs, you know, trying to get the ball out. I mean, Jamarcus did an unbelievable job on the seam pass. What a play. Great play. And we keep count of them daily. You know, and when you have, you know, like in the secondary, when you have newness and the inexperience, you hope you grow where you can say, you know what, I can read the ball better. You know, I'm getting better at doing some certain things. And we just haven't progressed to that point. Now, we played a unique schedule. In 5 games, we played 2 what I would call hammer teams, you know, and 3, you know, spread teams. So it's been sort of a unique, you know, first 5 games.
And you're looking at George Lee some more with some 1 reps.
You know, we moved JJ. You know, we were a little bit, you know, be quite honest with you, we were trying to fast track him, and that's not. He's going to be good, and fast track Abe. You know, we had a little bit of a, you know, issue there in that game, and so we said, you know, how can we get our best players on the field? Just we felt like we were good enough inside, you know, and quite honest, George, you know, had some chances and didn't own up to it. He might not be the guy. It might be Shannon Foreman. You know, it might be Rennell Wren. We haven't made that decision yet. And we're just trying to get the best guys on the field. And like I said, I mean, I think we've talked about it before. AJ's been productive, whether it's been End or Devil. He's been productive. And we do believe that JJ is going to be a player. You know, those guys and what we're doing are pretty important.
How's the progress been for those players that you've gotten out of junior college? How's that progress been throughout the first 5 years?
Say that again?
How's the progress been for the JUCO players through this season?
You know, it's a process. It really is. I mean, if you would ask, you know, obviously, when we started the season, we had Joey. We didn't have a guy that had ever been a starter in secondary, and being a JUCO guy, both of those guys had never started a college game. I'm going to give Kobe as an example. You know, Kobe played 1 year of junior college football, so basically he's a true freshman. It's been a process. The thing you love about Kobe is he is such a fierce competitor, and is he perfect? No. Is he? You know, he is a guy that he has so much. And I tell people this. And they said, "Oh, it must be frustrating." You know, it's frustrating about not getting done what you want all the time, consistently enough. And I think I've said that in here. We're fighting consistency, but these kids are busting their tails, and I don't think it's, you know, there's no finger pointing. There's no, hey, this, that. They know for us to make the strides, which we can. You look at this league, every week we'll have a chance to win. Every week. And we've got to get better. We've got to get better in the secondary. You know, and I've got to do a better job coaching it.
You got a little bit of look at John Humphrey on defense. You had tons of them. It looks like you're going to get another one. Where do you see him once he's done?
You know, I don't know yet. Jeff, to be quite honest with you, today he went half a day. You know, we're not going to be able to wave a magic wand. And you know, when you play in the secondary, it's just not ability. It's awareness. It's reps. and it's you got to have a total package, and there's a reason they pay those people $40-50 million in the secondary. I mean, you got four guys coming at you, and what we're looking is long term. You look at him, you look at Evan Fields. I have a goal to try to get Evan better, but I don't want to put Evan on the field and him not be, knowledge is power back there. And when you don't have knowledge and you're playing a tempo offense, they can make you. Now, he's athletic, but everybody says, boy, he's fast, he's this. But you know what? When you're sitting there, boom, 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 in the plays, all of a sudden you become slow and just a guy. And we want to do that in due time. What we want is being able to, I'd love to be able to take Kobe out for a series and say, hey, this is what they're doing. This is, we just haven't had the luxury of doing that yet. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, but he's got potential.
Oh, yeah, there's potential there. How fast? I don't know.
You talked earlier in the season about Christian Sam maybe having a little slow start out of the gates. Can you talk about his progression the last few weeks and how much impact he has on PJ Collins?
I think both of them have taken great. They missed a couple of fits on Saturday. They own up to it. They have shown great maturity and they've shown great leadership. And I'm very appreciative. A lot of times, guys, I've done this a long time, and when frustration, like Saturday, when you're sitting there and you're one missed tackle and two missed tackles away from winning the game, all of a sudden you start, it's easy. All of a sudden them hands come out of the pocket and say, it's Jeff's fault. It's Mark's fault. And number one, I'm not going to allow it. But I've never had to address a thing. The accountability factor leads me to believe that we will get better as we progress. I mean, they were a unique offense. Let's face it. Probably not our best matchup. But you know what? So what? There's a lot of people. We got to do a better job. I got to do a better job. And as I told them, it's a we thing. I can promise them that we're going to prepare them the best we possibly can, to go out and defeat Washington.
Is Alex Perry getting close to where he can help you? Or is he still a ways away?
He's getting closer. He's getting closer. But I don't see him right now, being better than Kobe or Lucas. And that's the thing that I think that we're trying to get Mo back in there. Mo played very well on special teams. That was a good start for him. So that's what we're dealing with right now. Okay, all right, guys.